Hello, my name is Dale Hyde. Welcome to this, another in our series of In a Nutshell videos, looking at various aspects of cloud computing. If you watched the others, you might have noticed that we said the last one, looking at the value of working with a partner, was to be the last in the series. However, we had feedback from several people asking for one covering costs, and in particular where to be wary regarding unexpected costs. Well, we thought that was fair enough. When executing a cloud migration program, you do need to be prepared for hidden costs, which I'm afraid have to be accepted as a part of cloud computing life, especially public cloud. So we decided to produce this further video. I hope you find it useful. Now, these hidden costs might come in several areas, probably the most likely being developing your skill sets, third-party management costs, transactional costs, and data movement costs. We'll look at each of these in a moment, but first let's consider a couple of examples of big guys coming unstuck with management of their cloud costs. In 2019, Adobe managed to accidentally incur daily charges of around $80,000 for a single computing job on Microsoft's Azure platform. I understand it took them about a week before the matter came to light, by which time they'd racked up an unnecessary bill of around $500,000. Around the same time, Capital One was reconciling a 73% rise in the fees it paid to use AWS. And even born in the cloud businesses like Pinterest can get it wrong. A couple of Christmases ago, a seasonal spike saw them landing with a $20 million bill for consumption in excess of agreements. Now these are pretty big numbers, and the average mid-market organisation won't need to worry about such figures, but it highlights that this is a very real issue. So let's get back to our four areas. First, developing skill sets. The public cloud in particular needs new skills to design, deploy and manage. Now these are generally learnable by IT generalists, but they will take time. We all know what time equals. Public cloud is a different kind of technology, architecturally and commercially, and these intangible costs are all too easily overlooked when evaluating costs. Private cloud approaches tend to be based on more familiar technologies, like server virtual machines, so are less of a leap. Plus, private cloud rollouts are typically based on fixed monthly costs. They can increase and decrease in line with your requirements, but the difference is you'll know about it up front. And next we have third-party management costs. Many people, especially those in finance roles, might only look at the basic cost to provision the cloud resources and perhaps ignore the training costs suggested earlier and or the cost to commission a third party to manage the system. Now, particularly with public cloud, we discussed in the last video, this can be a very real requirement for most mid-market organisations. Then there are data movement costs. Also often we focus on the upfront aspect of this, but these are often negligible, certainly for the cloud vendors. They're only too keen to welcome you on board. You might incur some migration expertise costs, but these are usually a small proportion of overall cloud computing investment. It's much more important to understand the data egress charges, that is moving data out of the cloud platform, whether that's because of a large-scale application that moves data around, or you might want to migrate data to a different platform. At first glance, these costs might look small, just pennies per gigabyte, but when considered at scale, they can really mount up. And if you Google cloud cost concerns, data egress charges are probably the most widely discussed. But some aspects of public cloud also attract transaction costs, which similarly to data movement are usually metered in tiny increments and have tiny unit costs. But let's not forget the immense transactional compute power of modern platforms. So again, these costs can quickly mount up if not understood and managed. So it's critical to understand what you're getting into up front, so you can decide when using a public cloud provider whether it's cost effective and appropriate, or when it might be better to go a different route, such as private, hybrid or on-premise. Another point that I think is worth making is if we look back just a few years, we can see the concerns of cloud customers then have shifted from a shortage of appropriate skills maybe 6 or 7 years ago to security matters more recently. But now, cost control seems to be top of many people's agenda. There are steps you can take to mitigate against escalating costs, and these include focus on eliminating waste, often because of over-provisioned and idle resources. Just getting your sizing right and ensuring resources are only active when it's actually needed can make a massive difference. Also, understand and if possible set thresholds on fees incurred for data movement and transactions. And often it's prudent to engage the help of a partner and or management tool who can help you understand and control costs. Now, coming back to public and private cloud approaches for a moment, perhaps the biggest differentiator is that generally private clouds are built on a fixed cost basis, avoiding the unexpected hidden cost syndrome. And if that's a concern for you, you should consider private cloud. So finally, I'm sorry if you're expecting all of the answers in this video. I'm afraid that's beyond the scope of such a short item, but hopefully now you have an idea where to focus your attention when evaluating costs and benefits of cloud migration programs. So thanks for watching. I hope you found it useful. If you need to take the discussion further, maybe to understand how to best utilise your existing skill sets, please do get in touch. We'll be delighted to help. Goodbye for now.